into its hands. He fought against the exploitation and destruction of Africa and decried the division among African leaders, but instead envisioned Africa as an independent and united continent that should be absolutely free from imperialism. Nkrumah's dream of liberation eventually turned into reality in his country when the Gold Coast, now Ghana, gained its independence from the British on March 6, 1957. Despite this great feat, Nkrumah stated that Ghana's independence was meaningless if it was not linked with the liberation of the entire African continent. Unfortunately, his time as president was cut short because while he was pursuing the African dream, his country was being manhandled by self-serving corrupt officials, culminating in economic crisis and food shortages. While on his way to Hanoi to negotiate a peaceful settlement of the war in Vietnam, the army and police came together to topple his government on February 24, 1966, and he spent the rest of his life exiled in Guinea, a West African country. In this episode, we shall bring to your view the rise and fall of Kwame Nkrumah. Francis Nyakofi Kwame Nkrumah's actual date of birth is unknown. Although his mother put his date of birth as 1912, Nkrumah chose September 21, 1909. He also changed his name from Francis to Kwame because he was born on a Saturday. Nkrumah was born in Nkrofu, a village in Nsima, a small province southwest of Ghana formerly called Gold Coast, to a father who was a goldsmith and his mother a trader. He attended a Roman Catholic elementary school in Half Assini, which was the hometown of his father and a small town near his village. His life took a dramatic turn when he gained admission to Achimota College to train as a teacher in 1927. It was also during this time he met James Kwegyir Aggrey, the school's vice principal. Aggrey was a nationalist and Pan-Africanist who made a great impression on Nkrumah, enough for him to decide to further his studies in the United States of America, where he spent the next 10 years and thus began his academic pursuits. Before traveling out, he had started his teaching career at Roman Catholic junior schools in Elmina, and later became the head teacher at the Axum branch of the school. He also worked at the Roman Catholic Seminary at Amisano as a teacher in 1932. Nkrumah received a Bachelor of Arts degree in Economics and Sociology from Lincoln University in 1939, a degree in Theology from Lincoln Theological Seminary in 1942, and a Master of Science degree in Education from the University of Pennsylvania in the same year. He also received a Master of Arts degree in Philosophy in 1943. Later, he left the United States for Britain to study law but was unable to complete his thesis. While there, he organized the 5th Pan-African Congress in Manchester in 1945, which proved decisive in the struggle against foreign rule in Africa and racial oppression in the West. The Congress also sought to unite continental Africa with those in the diaspora. Some notable Africans present at the meeting were Nnamdi Azikiwe and Obafemi Awolowo of Nigeria, Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya, Hastings Banda of Malawi, and Peter Abrahams of South Africa.
There's one simple hearing hack anyone...
Greetings, yes. I was meant to edit the thing properly. Yeah, Ghana. I played that because I want to talk about justice in Islam. Justice with God Almighty. Justice, not justice with man. Man lie. Man is very fraudulent and lied, Always want what we not put down. and trying to seek everything for ourselves. Hold this.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, all right now. Oh, yeah. The world is troubled, and living ain't easy. The world is troubled. You got to believe it. The world is troubled, and living ain't easy.
Yes, the world is trouble. And we know that long time. And we have said that and we experienced that, unfortunately. So this is Things and Times we deal with you. We're going to talk about some justice now and look at standardization of history. When we, the children of the Africans, slaves in the diaspora, Caribbean, North America, and the South and everywhere, we don't see ourselves as prominent, not dominant, prominent peoples in the earth, because what the Europeans have done, they've written so many stories, and they are the ones who educated us, who have educated us. So they told their stories to us. And all that we know is not of ourselves, you know. What we know is about them. And when people keep talking about the images, that's important. But what we know is about them. Because they're the ones who capture us and they're the ones who taught us. They're the ones who educate even us at home on the continent. They made sure that was a top priority, you know, to institute, to develop institutions and to make us feel good. They're the ones that provided what is today called uniform. So could you imagine when you're being offered these things, just like the way they go about now has been giving out these charitable artificial milk and such. You feel good because you get something that you didn't have. And if your belly hurt you and somebody gives something that you can chew and swallow, you're appreciative, you're grateful. No, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. No. You continue, honor that hand. And once that hand keep giving, could you imagine? You honor them well. And that is exactly what the Caucasian have done to us. That's what he's done. So when him take what we today call history and standardize it, he standardized it for himself, for that is what they will teach. And where I'm heading with this conversation is that I used to be always talking about the transitioning of time, you know what I mean? Because our grandparents, our great-grandparents and our grandparents and our parents, them have gone. So there are changes of the gods, there are changes of the family, there are changes of people, they are transitioning in life. What these people have taught us is to deal with theological mythology, and we not deal with life standards, the reality in life. And that's why our opponents, which is ourselves, talk a lot about faith and belief, because them say there's nothing, there's justifiable. And only because someone else has put that there, because they don't want us to get too, to me, they don't want us to get too close to reasoning these things out among ourselves in a cordial manner, and then we just move forward together. So that leaves us very disjointed. And when Dr. York come out and said, believe is to be lied to Eve children and everything, that caught, I mean, that hold on to the whole world, except to the white people them. And everything that is being said before then and after then, up to now, in relation to the Bible and the white man logistics of God and angels and everybody, it has made us stronger with this thing than to find ourselves looking at home and finding our way outside of him. Now we have this thing where people are call it now that the Arabs and, you know, they're very careful that they don't say Muslim, you know, they don't say Islam, but them say, they really mean to say that, but them say, you know, these Arabs, this and that and other. You see, because the simplest thing we can say to them, to our own selves, is have you read? Have you took time out to investigate the Quran? Have you read it? Not have you sit down and debate somebody that is talking about personalities, and the only personalities that you can talk about and you still water him down is Malik al-Shabazz, Malcolm X. And if you want to have a tough conversation all about the world and white man and everything, you talk about the Nation of Islam. And we are say, that's not it. Read the book called the Quran for yourselves, for ourselves. And if you really want to be bright, I mean, so bright that you waste a whole heap of time, take the European book and the Quran and put them side by side and try to digest them page for page and empty your head, your mind from all the things that someone have told you, whether it's the Pope, the pastor, the Archbishop, the Mason or who. Even if it's your mother and your father, empty your head of that and use your eyes and read both of them side by side. Page one of page one and page one and two and so forth and so forth. And then come to your own conclusion. Now, I'm saying 2 out of 5 will turn around and say, listen, I can't go over this, you know, because it's deep. It's better me stay over here with something me don't know already, because they're thinking about Matthew and Jennifer and Charlene and Elizabeth and all these people that is their spouse and friends and girlfriend and so forth. Is how them feel so that they're going to let them down. Another one will turn around and say, listen here, you know all the things that book want me to do? I'm setting away over here already. Those changes is too great. They're too many. But the other 3 is saying, yo, this is rational. This is taking care of, telling me of everything in life. Even how sperm work inside my body, in the body. A man has said that and a woman has said, yeah. And what is going on inside there. No man could know that. And even today they don't know that. So it's not that man that bought the book or the Islam that's responsible for this. How would he know that? And let's move to the water. How does he know this? He can't know that. Why? He made all these scientific equipment that nobody else have but him. And Jesus was here, Christ was here before him, and never had them something there. Come on, man. This cannot be the man. This is something outside of that man. And those three, because they've been rational, they've gone into their own reservoir and conscience and spirituality, where the other two has dealt with the world, materialists, and they're holding on to all that they know, which is not wrong. But when you learn in academia, there's several subjects that we're learning, and we have to leave one subject and go to the next. So you have to park up something to be able to embrace and enhance something else. And that happens on a day-by-day basis. It's not months and years, you know. It's a day-by-day thing, transitioning from geography to history, from history to science, from science to physics, and so forth. They don't have no particular order, you know. It's when you deal with college and your parents are so well informed, then you can order them. When you go to university, then you order them. And most university orders the classes for the students because they want graduate students. They want, listen, but a lot of people don't know, just when we just say just no, them just take these things for granted. Yes. But this what you call it, the middle class school, them secondary school, these things, grammar school, these things are organized. You understand? You have English and maths. And then you have a break. And you have science, as in chemistry, physics, and biology. You don't drop science and then go over there to post history and geography and then come back to physics. No. But the working class school, them do anything at random. Okay, let's get back to this thing, you know. So, if people, our people as black people, African Caribbean people, people of the diaspora, do that, use that as a test, an intellectual test, we'll be spiritually free. Because everywhere on this earth, injustice is what we have faced. Injustices is what we have faced. Africans. But you see, we can't really go there too. We can go there deep, but in terms of the racial abuse thing, we can't go there deep. Because you see, in our life, we've experienced this thing called racism, prejudice, and all this kind of something. Because people are look at, the European people taught us to look at ourselves. Because the way them look at us, and they degrade us. But ourselves at home in the Mediterranean, not never go so. People not look upon one another and say, use a brownie and use a blackie and use a darkie. No. This is a germ, an ailment of European people. An ailment of European people. See? Now, I will come to this saying, this mental conclusion. Our prophet, peace and blessing upon him, in his last ceremony, make it very clear that we should not make distinction among ourselves. So already, at that time, there were people who were prejudiced very prejudiced. And there were people who were questioning different tribes. And that's something that we have got to experience in a if we not go up on the continent, we will never experience the naturalness and the liberty of human beings, ourselves acting and reacting with ourselves. And know that that prejudice is natural. It's natural. It's not based on what we've learned as racism and bigotry. It's not based on that. But we can say that because we have experienced and learned this stuff in Europe, especially here in England. So the justice that we are talking about and the justice that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has projected to us to seek and to project and to live, enhance and live by is humanitarian justice. It's not justice in a political platform and this one who's in power use it and abuse it the way they feel like. Nah. We're talking about civilian social justice. That man and woman treat each other with neutral and loving respect, with total regard for each other as human beings, first and foremost. So now we are here, now we are hearing our own people seem to be taught by these evangelists and all of these people that those of us like me and my family who are Muslims try jerk them off and show them, say, listen here, all that has happened to your mother and your father, your great-grandparents, were taught by Arabs who you follow now. Follow it, like we follow Arab. Anyway, that's the talk they talk. And it's them who taught the Europeans, the Caucasian, about slavery. And I'm saying, hogwash, where you get that rubbish from? The history that they did not standardize and twist because it wasn't us. The standardization of history that I'm talking about is everything to do with us. Then wash it white or they erase it, period. As in not making anything that they found in Ghana, Nigeria, wherever, they lock it up. What they haven't destroyed, them just got it under lock and key. England dangerous, you know? Okay. So, these people always captured other people and enslaved them. We have come here to our parents, and some of us are born here, and we're here about the Irish conflict, the Irish and the English conflict, and they're all the same, you know, but, you know, let's go along with their thing, right? And you have the Northern Ireland, and you have the Republic, and hey, listen here, it's one place, you know, but it's cut up because the British gone inside there and them do something, and then beat up, brutalize, hang, militarily execute. Hey, them do a whole heap of barbaric thing to those people. Seriously, firing squad and all kind of something. And them never have no regular courting, and them hey, the people them who's supposed to be the governor and the police and everybody, them just file justice on whoever it is. And then them turn around and say, listen, execute that person or those persons. Yes, England, you know. So you have a whole heap of Irish slaves. And then you have all across Europe slaves. The people them enslaved their own people to whatever condition they were in, and who's the aristocrat from, yeah, and so forth. And that's the way they have been. And then we learn about the world and its other people's behavior, the Turks and the Persians and all of these other peoples, and they did but the same. When them have conflict, the victor look for the booty. And if them find so that they're not getting what we call today treasures, them take human beings. And many of them take woman. Yes, take woman. And use them and abuse them. And then dash them aside. And some of them just take them and carry them back to where them come from. This was an action among peoples in those days. Had nothing to do with our Prophet and Muslims and Al-Islam doing nothing. Had nothing to do with no Arab teaching, no European them anything in the realm of disgusting behaviors. So now you have all these black people, them, especially in America, talk that talk. So we want to say to them, keep talking you something, but hear what now? What's the solution? Because while you're talking that, you're living the very tool that they have created that have kept us in line with what they want, have wanted. An unfree human being. One that's still subservient. A servitude. No matter how much degree you think that we have earned, we cannot develop ourselves more than He allows us to do. Because our morality, our dignity, and our culture reside in Africa, not in North or Central Europe. But we are trying, so much of us are trying to fit in, assimilated within, and have the cheek, the audacity to call themselves after these people. So now you have the confusion, the entrapment of Diane Abbott. I mean, she had legal education, you know. But it doesn't mean that you have so much sense. My mother said, a well-educated person is a damn fool. My mother, you know. Yes, mommy. But I tell you. And it's one day I listened back to the something. And she was responding to an African name, brand, person who wrote something. And it's also that them send it a copy of the something to her. Maybe also asking our comment. But as soon as she put pen to paper or finger to keyboard, The same person make it known by the publishing house and whatever newspaper consortium it was, and bang, and them send a copy to the leadership of the Labour. Because them just want to erase the fact that she has been the first black, Caribbean, African black person, and she fought vigorously in relation to racism and prejudice and so on. A transitional period is now. So them want to use her as a stamp to say, listen here, we done with them people there. And this generation that is here now toward the line that we are set. And if she was really working and minding our business, she wouldn't have been entrapped by that. Because even though she mentioned the apology, they're not accepting it. And every news reel that is being around, they say, nah, it's too late. And they want to say how terrible and horrible and everything she has been. But she's the one who would not smile with us, but used to talk like she had defend and represent us. Because she was mentally insecure with us. She wanted to feel secure with the others. Diane Abbott. Yes. So now we have to watch that space and see if social justice is going to pan out. And now what I've saw, and we all should be seeing and recognize that all of these young, affluent, black, British, and African Caribbean young people opposes her. And them say they don't acknowledge no racism, no prejudice, and so on. And they're eloquent. Yes, they're eloquent. Even the young man who wrote the something is saying that even though she apologized, her apology should not be accepted. And Labour should just grab that whip and make an example. And I'm sitting there watching him and I'm saying to myself, Rockstone. But then to look at him and the sisters them, it's a young generation. So there have not been no Bernie Grant person to support her. And it also shows that we haven't got no real representation within ourselves. Because all those other people who used to run up their mouth, professor this and that and other and so forth, where are they? You know, but nobody in the ear so that they write a letter in representation of them turn up on Sky or BBC and say one damn word. Because the Muslim program, they surely say, watch out, we're not getting involved in that. We're not getting involved in that. So they couldn't use the Islamic channel to come and espouse nothing. Saying a lot, but nothing. See? And then all these erroneous black stations, they even say a word. Because they don't concentrate on developing wickets. They concentrate on developing gossips. And how to get certain people that them like how to get them back into Europe as singers. I don't want to call them artists because they're not artists. Huh? So we have a whole heap of ignorant things taking place. So we are say, put the Quran and the Bible side by side and go page one, until and get a pen or a notepad and take notes. And don't try to compete. Use both of them to compete. No, read and try and digest and then ask yourself. The real topic is, which is from God? Or what is from God? And how you're recognizing intellectually and spiritually, soulfully, who is communicating or what is communicating with the reader. And I can guarantee with my life that 5 out of 5 will turn around and say, yeah, what? There's one thing about this Quran, you know. It's not a lot of people, there's no whole heap of people that taught nothing, you know. It's instructions are being given. And then there's a conversation between something and the humans, us. And that conversation is telling us to do something. So there's be a conversation with this Muhammad. And sometimes there does be a 3-way conversation because something attack are instructing and this angel attack and Muhammad is not questioning because he's not part of the message. He's only one to receive. And they will say, rah. And that's why I'm asking people, read, man. Take the book and read. Compare them. Don't go to no pastor, no theologian. Don't go to Johnny and Paul and Peter and these people. Don't bother with it. Read for yourself. And don't forget to look at the moral and the ethical projection that what has created us, human beings on this earth, knows about, and no man knows these things. And don't be afraid. Embrace it. Don't be afraid. And then question it yourself. When you get to embryology, don't run. Sit back, relax, and ask yourself, who is saying this? If not, who have created it in the first place? Because Muhammad had nothing to do with it. When you deal with the ozone layer, you deal with the firmament, the sky, even the sun. Just question it and say, yo, I don't know man know these things. And if you're one of these people that are always dealing with hierarchy and this and that, now you know so that you deal with people, other mankind, us, who are so malicious and create all kinds of turbulence in people's brain, because them like mythology, mysticisms. And them love the toxic mysticism. And by the time your eyes them start get weak and you want to sleep and so forth, you will say Allah. Trust me on that one. You will say Allah. Because now you're convinced that there's no man that can be any God. And there is no man that God is put in his place. You will be that much convinced. And you will wake up in the morning feeling so fresh that now you're going to get to work late if you're at work. Because you want to read more from this Quran. And then you question yourself, why did it take me so long? Why did somebody tell me this? And then you can answer that question yourself because they don't want us to be free. It's not nationalism, you know. So all that stuff them talk about Arab, it's not nationalism. It's not that we have to go sign up with Saudi Arabia or some Arab people them and then we become 1 billion million Arabs on the earth. Stop it. And there's no one asking us to give them £1 a day so that them can be trillionaires. No. So, you know what I mean? All of those derogative things, all them things that go on with money and popularity and numbers to join your group, check it out. Islam is not that. Freedom is Al-Islam. Justice is Al-Islam. Equality is Al-Islam. And I'm not saying that we don't have human beings that behave erroneously and everything, because we're humans. Not that I'm legislating that 9/11 and all these things happening. It happened, but it's not us. It wasn't us. Not us, me, not us, period, Muslims. No, it wasn't. Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty, Allah knows. But that's something there. And all those wicked things, it was to make people them look upon Islam as a demeaning terrorist, this, that body. And it hasn't worked. It backfired. And these English women them that got liberated and justice for right to be able to express themselves and to dress and to be treated with dignity and not as sexual objects and everything. A lot of them are not comfortable. They want our women to look like them. They want to see our women, them cleavage. A woman, you know, could you imagine how women behave like that? And the next one want to see all the women legs and backside. And they must be on the street sucking one another lips. All kind of behaviors. Because they know once you can corrode the woman, then the society and the culture of those people are being fragmented. Any persons, any group. And with Islam, they thought that, you know, if we do this and we're consistent, eventually we can get these girls them feel so that Islam has made them a victim of the world. They're not free. Now, to be free, you're supposed to be sexually active. To be free, you're supposed to flaunt your bodies. And that's what they're telling the woman. And then on the other side, they want to tell the man, look, see, this is what you're missing. So now we behave a certain way and disrespect our mothers. The very womb that bore us and took good care of us and raised us. But it's not working. It's not working. They've tried the gambling. They try everything, all the indecents. So we have hold on to the justice that God Almighty, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is made prevalent for us. Now some people say, why would I follow a book? We're following the guidance of the one who created everything, including yourself, you doubter. See? So the standardization of history. The black man have got to get a grips with it. A generation of teenagers, of young people, them across the earth, and the most dangerous ones are the Caucasian ones, them. They're changing the history and features of Egypt. They're writing and have been writing and rewriting and removing documentation. So our children and our grandchildren will not recognize themselves in this earth as a proud body of people, a dignified set of people, and contributors to humanity. Decent, moral set of people to humanity. We're going to be deemed to be disruptive and people who will just keep waiting for handouts. Because if them have Astaghfirullah, God as a white man and all of God's followers on earth as white people, and everything that is dark have done wrong and evil, where do we fit in? Where do we fit in? And when everybody is developing and contributing to society and to the earth and to mankind at large, and we're not, we're just scroungers, then what is it that we're leaving our children and grandchildren to do? Where would they fit in? Or how would they be appreciated in this earth? What kind of life, what kind of experience until they die would they be having? It's something we need to be thinking about very carefully, because this is what these people do. And that's what, not what they do, that's what they've been doing, and that's what they're good at, and that's what they're up to again. And we're just there. Look at Sudan and watch the United Nations. All them sending in people, and Britain send their troops in and their aircraft in, but they're taking their subjects out. But they're also taking some well-educated set of people out of Sudan, trying to tell them that them have their vested interests at heart, which is their life, but they're taking them because they're highly intelligent, professional people. Yes, because Britain got what they wanted. They got the division of Sudan. Now they're going to break the backbone and the spine of Sudan, which means that Islam, the creed and the heart of Islam in Africa, the spiritual foundation, would be mucked up. You either are here with us, or we remove you. And this is unfortunate. This is unfortunate. This is unfortunate. No one is asking where the rebel set of people that said they should be in government, where did they get their arms from? They're making out that somehow these people were part of the armed forces and they're split. No, these are Westerners that have come back home and want Sudan, their home, to be run and structuralized like the West. They were the ones who caused all the disruption and the demonstration, and they want this and they want that. And they've been aided and supported to try and topple and resist all efforts to calm them down. This all started when we had the alleged Arab Spring. Sudan is the main force intellectually Islamic force of the Brotherhood of Al-Islam, Sudan. Yes, our home. So if you never know, now you know. And Britain, they do not forget nothing. They don't. The same UN that's there, they don't go to Palestine. They didn't go to Palestine in Jerusalem in Ramadan. They didn't send no envoy over there and say to these people, yo, you've gone on secret place, you've gone into the mosque, right? These are internationally listed places, and you should not violate these things. They didn't do that. But now look at them. Both them are send and making people of the earth feel so that them care. They want to send both. They're sending X tons and everything of aid to Sudan. And then I got over here with Russia and NATO and say, yo, stop on the foolishness and tell that boy, stop begging. We're not getting nothing more. Because they are fueling the problem. Man come and say he want this and them game. He want that and them game. And them are going like some John Wayne cowboy boy. And them giving him everything. Make Sudan turn around and say, yo, here we want some military this and that and everything to slap this boy. Them can say that, but they're not going to get nothing. Because if the boy asks for something, the boy is getting what the boy want. And them are creating disturbance. And Britain don't want nobody to understand that their own citizens who are studying there did not want to leave. But now them gone there and say, yo, here what? Huh? So now they open up them space because they don't see these people as violating immigrational rules. Because they're not taking them to Rwanda now. They bring them back here. Germany and England. Justice, these are injustices. So they want us to deal with Sudan for years now with conformity. Yes. You understand? So we African Caribbean and we Africans in the diaspora, we bright. But you see, we don't belong nowhere. You see? We don't have no state, we don't have no land, we don't have no infrastructure, we don't have nothing. So all we have is an echo chamber. We just make word sound. You see? We just make word sound. And the people them know say after a while, you know, if you don't create your own media platform, nobody not gonna listen to you. And what we've got is a lot of platforms, but they're degrading. We degrade one another. We are talking about all kind of derogatory nonsense. And this body a fight this body, and this body a talk about this body, and what them excreted and so forth. So we're in a bad shape. Seriously, we're in a bad shape. And I'm saying we can shape up and fly right because we are Africans. And those of you who are in doubt in relation to the things I'm saying right now, Al-Islam is it. Al-Islam is it. Trust me. So, we're going to make this one a shot. We'll make it short. The British can go and the United Nations can go, and some envoy come from Arabia and say that the two groups of people is to fly out there and discuss this and that. It's very sad. Very sad that this is what we're experiencing right here now in this earth. Seriously, in this earth. In these crucial and critical times in this earth. Mankind and Muslim too. Not a country that have big major problem, you know. Islamic. Them not learn it, you know. Them teach it. Islamic. And very spiritually too. And we're talking about original Al-Islam. We're not talking about no copy. We're not talking about no bara and all them something there. So it's a bad day. It's a bad time. It's a bad time. So we have cut ourselves short because justice. And we'll show you that regardless what them do, we're not going to change. We're not going to change. Because we are the Muslims. And we love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we will obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Regardless. So those of you who think, say, that somebody got way, nah. They're making life hard, but they not got nobody. You see? And unfortunately, we have lost some lives, you know, and so on. And it will continue until truth and the dignity of man comes on in front of every other man that is sitting down there saying that them have a right and they want to be in power. This power trip among us people, human beings, is crazy. Because it's only for a time. It's crazy. I find it to be crazy. People that fight other people for land, and you may only live to 60, maybe 70. And if you live to 60, you can still run. 70 and plus, you can't run. You understand? You just stand up there and run up your mouth. See? Your time's up. But the way these people behave, them know their time is up, but they're educating the transition. Because they want to maintain that type of behavior. And some of us, black people, African people, have followed that. That's why I played Ghana. In the very early stage of Ghana's independence, Britain was dirtying Ghana. Then watch Nkrumah and how he negotiated with the Vietnamese and all these different peoples and not run to them and sit down with them and suck them too. And when he was out, the most them start run bout. And them aid and support, America and England aid and support a group that they make an opposition. And England, Queen Elizabeth and her people them were saying them not happy with the direction that Nkrumah is going. And we're talking about less than a year. Can you imagine? But to him had no friend. And this friend was not company of theirs. Less than a year. They never liked the angle. And that's what she's told charge. And make him the head, definitely, of the Commonwealth. And then him run to America. And because them have the Afrocom, Barack put that there on the continent. Them feel them can do anything they want to do with Africa right now. And it's true. Because many of the people them are not independently minded. When Britain says fart, them fart. When them say don't fart, then don't fart. And when them say come, them run. Simple. Today. Why all of this now? We in the diaspora, we hold a trump card. Just like those Askanakis left Europe with this Belfort Agreement and gone into Palestine, and in less than 70 years set up a state. Yes, man, a pretty big, strong state. And we in the diaspora, we still here play football, a chat England, a discuss English matters, a concern ourselves with all of these things, and then learn no language, and then have visas going in and out all about Africa. And the ones who have started that, them are dealing with music. Them dealing with concerts and beach this and hot that and rare. Them not dealing with developing. They're not dealing with making sure that them children grow up. Now we are going to die off. And them grandchildren grow up to live and be proud to leave England and the Caribbean and go live and develop themselves as independent, free people in this world by living back home on the continent. And that me I say, that's what I'm going to keep saying. Keep saying. I'm going to tell people about Arabs taught the Caucasian man to make you a slave, you fool. Where you get that nonsense? Where you get that nonsense? And even if you buy into it, where you going? Most of us are saying that we're going to stay with the devil that we've been with, and we don't want nothing else. So you have your Jesus, you have your Paul, and you have your Anglican and the Pope. Yes. Many of you get big job because the easiest position to have in this earth is to go theological school. And then you have the license from all the world government to run your church and do whatever you want to do. The other day, one man tell people them for fast. And you see the word them use, fast, but them must starve the people them for 100 years or whatever. Huh? And the people them who dead, them bury them. You see people sick. People them withering. And he who is eating would not serve these people. But soon as them drop off dead, them dig a hole and cover them up. Put them in and cover them up. Then you have another man who take woman and tell them open up for them leg and him take razor blade, but him a shave them. Then me take another man and him have a big barrel and him go in the barrel naked. And then this water is now become holy water and everything. And the people them is meant to come and take a cup or glass or whatever and take some of the water and drink it. And now they will also possess the Holy Spirit. All of this type of nonsense is endemic all across Africa. And we're not talking about the small little something. We're talking about a place that had about 30,000 and 40 and 50 and 70,000. A lot of people, big like America. Big. And then you have this other jackass that tell people say that Christianity came from Africa originally. So we say guidance. Yeah. What is two rhythm track?
each other. Come, we go reason now. Come, 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 we go reason now. Come, we go walk and talk. Come, we go reason now. No fussing or fighting. We're going forward. We are no warrior, but we are conqueror. this number. It's a familiar number. Kind of people. 8 million careless Ethiopians. 8 million careless Ethiopians shall go down with Babylon. Let me tell you, careless Ethiopians, people. I would like to be there. I would like to be, yeah, in this number. It's a peculiar number, kind of people in this number. It's a peculiar number, kind of people. There is no speech or language where their voice is not heard. No. Day after day uttered speech, night after night show it knowledge. And let me tell you now, I would like to be there. I would like to be, yeah, in this number. It's a peculiar number, kind of people in this number. It's a peculiar number, kind of people. 144,000. These are they that were sealed with the seal of the living God. These are they who have been through great tribulation. That's why I'm telling you, I would like to be there. Yeah, I would like to be, yeah, in this number. It's a peculiar number. In this number. It's a peculiar number. Kind of people in this number. It's a peculiar number. Oh yeah, in this number.
Yes, great songs, you know. So we have to see something like this now. He who runs after the good fortunes runs away from peace. See? Oh gosh, man, that they hurt in it. He who runs after good fortunes runs away from peace. See? So all these people, them, you know, even us, the lay people, them, you know, that don't have too much, but yet still our eyes open wide for all kind of something. See? Yeah. And all these other ones that come out and buy all these football teams and everything. You understand? And when you talk to them, they want to tell you, say, that they might do this and it will do that and so forth. A rubbish, a lie. Them giant, they went to bed with the wrong set. And now them have no other option. You understand? Hey, when Trump did a thing and then him take all the paperwork them and then put in pocket and then him take some and then put in him back pocket, that was to show us these all of us who are rebels them on the street long time don't know that he's saying, yo, my have them, you know. Him couldn't get the Korean brother. He couldn't get him. But everybody else, him get them Tarati. Them just put them in him pocket and make them know, say, yo, When we tell you for bow, bow. When we tell you for move, move. When we tell you for shut up. You see? Okay. So now I want to play my original tune because I listen different things out there now. And if you say that them can come and mass over me, you can't do that. You follow. Hold this.
People, what is the cause of all the trouble in the world? Things and times so hard. No.
Yeah, the original that, you know. Oh, I know that. See? Yeah, me see something early this morning on Jammies. But it don't say nothing else. It just said that 4 artists them, yeah, including Lieutenant Chichi and this one and everybody, I pay a tribute. You see? So, when I wish nothing, you know, I say, because it come up big on my network, you see, and everything. And then I hold up a photograph of Jammies. You see? So, yo, we wish you well, you know. I tell you. But make sure that Kaya and Tanola and Junior Mondale and everybody receive some royalties, man. Make that happen. You understand? Make that happen. Yo. And what we are saying now, words are powerful. Share kind word to yourself and the world today. Man called Sugar Miner. Hey, Shaka. Before me go Shaka first.
This is a special dedication to all the children of the world.
See, Mighty Tony Tough for the Shaka. Zane, okay, Sugar Miner, come. So we there in the ghetto, hold this too.
Who feels it knows it. Who feels it shows it. The life, ghetto life. Ghetto people feeling it all, yes, they're feeling it all. Oh yes.
You must remember, you know, say we're African, you know, we're black people. See? Don't try to tell me what to do and what not to do. Hold yourself.
I wanna weep no more. I wanna cry no more. I'm no slave. I'm no slave.
Yes, Muslims, you see the thing that you want for yourself, really and truly want for yourself, as in all human beings, yeah, and particularly now may I send this out to my Muslim brethren them about the place. It's the same something, once it's a good something, you know, that you want for yourself. It's the same something you should want for other people. So you see the world and man's behavior have a strange way of going around and come around, you know. You see? Going around and come around. When my father, Dr. Tawabi, was alive, and I bring justice and al-Islam, Shura, to Sudan, when I hear him, and then when I marginalize him, you all heard him well. And he was Sophie also. So it wasn't there's a big problem with him, you know. But when I go and like say, when I'm not ready, because too many of you all had European compatriots. And those same people is the very people that have now come and make that which happened with Garden, the British General Garden. They're revenging it. They're revenging it. Look at how many years since the country being split to what is happening right now and how this has happened. It's outside children of Sudanese heritage that came back with Western mindset. And now we can't distinguish between who is so authentically Sudanese in their behavior. And right here now in Khartoum, we're meant to be fighting. Among the civilians, the general population. And this is not the way. So where's all our spiritualists? Where is the foundation of that land? Where is al-Islam of that land? You tell me, so when I talk to Kafirs and not talking to ourselves, that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. That's what you're projecting. And then we are killing one another for what? Nobody's moving forward. No one's moving backward. So what you're going to say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? For whose fault is this? The spilling blood. And then burying our brothers Islamically. So when you shoot the gun as a kafir. When you aim it, you aim it as a kafir. And when you kill your brother, you pick up your brother and you bury your brother, janazah, as a Muslim. Something wrong with that. And all those who have joined UNICEF, where are you now? Where are you now? Where are you now? So you see, us African Caribbean, don't disrespect us. Do not disrespect us. See? Do not disrespect us. Our day is coming soon.
No partiality. Shall enter in the kingdom of Zion, for Jah no partiality. Jah no partial. If no partial, say Jah no partial. I say that Jah no partial. Say that no partiality can enter. I say that no partiality can enter. Say that the Zion no want no quantity. Say Zion no want no quantity. But a Zion want quality. Say Zion want quality. Say Mount Zion. No partiality shall enter, no partiality, no partiality. So say that no partiality. No partiality shall enter into the kingdom of Mount Zion, into the kingdom of Mount Zion. Say Mount Zion, if I dread and dread. Say that is evidently good. I say that I dread and dread. You know, I say that is evidently. Say that the Zion no want no quantity, but the Zion no want quality. Say Zion no want no quantity, but Zion want quality. That not deal with no partiality shall enter in the kingdom of Mount Zion. Only Mount Zion no deal with no partiality. Say only Mount Zion no deal with no partiality. Only Mount Zion no deal with no partiality. No partiality shall enter into the kingdom of God. I say that Jah no partial. I say that Jah animation. No, I say that Jah no partial. I say that Jah animation. It comes a greater than ten, and it's evidently. He madder than the rest, and it's greater than no partiality. No.
Yes, African Caribbean Muslims, hold tight, man. Seriously, our day soon come. Our time, not day. Our time soon come. Some people believe say them have it luck. Then I'm nothing luck, star. By your fruits, you should know them. Seriously.
You should be just because it's good for you, it's good for me.
Malcolm, Malcolm Shabazz was not making partnership with the UN, you know. It was using the UN. He would have used the UN as a stage so the world can hear. As His Imperial Majesty used the League of Nations as a stage so the world can hear what Britain, as his alleged friend, along with Rome as Italy, intended to do. Yes, and he was trying to tell them, if you're going to stand by and let it happen, your turn will come, your time will come. Your time will come. And him give the speech, you know, about racism and superiority. Okay, see? But if he was the seed of Menelik, he would have said that this day, Africa and Ethiopia has stretched forth its hands to the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you would have seen. So who is going to say that from this day forward, we seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's refuge? Who? So we would have gone to the United Nations, as in Malachi Shabazz, Malcolm X, and make the world understand, you know. But you have people them now who say them at work with these people and the pretense that they're helping African people and them are bringing the alphabet and all kinds of other ailments in the place and just put them on stage and make them feel that they're important for a second. And these are people who have spiritual consciousness. Are you playing games? Are you not bright? You're not bright. Because you not deal with us correctly. See? Malcolm and all of them, you know, a Caribbean family extract. See? So the world got to understand that, especially the black world, the African world. Got to understand that, you know. You think see them kill all the way? No, we're still there. It's just that we're playing games with one another. We've been distracted and we become lawless and everything. But we're still here. And our time is soon come. We've not all turned the other way now. But we have been looking forward to our Sudanese fathers to give us the strength that they gave our son, Malachi Shabazz. Huh? And now we've been made to feel uncomfortable. Made to feel uncomfortable. Not fulfilling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet's will. We're feeling very uncomfortable. Guidance.
You should be just because it's good for you, it's good for me. Be proud of you, baby. Oh, yes. Oh, whoa. Wanna make some nice and call down the crowd. Shout it loud, some are proud of me. Proud of me. Them say them want help you, all them told them help you, but running along them gone, but me still have me. Still have me. Proud of myself, myself, I'm proud of myself. Yes, yes, proud of myself, myself, I'm proud of. When you feel the you feel proud of yourself, proud of myself, yes, yes.
Yeah, that feature you see there, Angola, and them hate Muslims, you know. I tell you. See? But that's the next war in this earth. Water. It's Angola that.
Very well, I'm leaving.
Yes, so we're going.
Every day get up out of fire.
Too much round the way.
Bonfire for your mama. Bonfire for your dada. Me and the big water tube. Fi dash water for your fire.
I don't want to. No, I don't want to be outside when time is low. I just want to. Yes, I want to be inside when time
Mount
is
Zion,
low.
Mount Zion, I's the liar, I's the liar. Zion is a beautiful city. Holy Mount Zion is a beautiful city. Zion is a beautiful city. Holy Mount Zion is a beautiful city. It is 4 gates to the city of Mount Zion.
Yes, Jaguar, Islington, Brian, condolences to the family. Jaguar, my brother, condolences to the whole family. So we say, guidance.